Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm so happy if you're my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video is being recorded on Saturday, November 16th at 1:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, as I am recording this, you guys are currently watching the future health and the health of the United States, Donald Trump and Vice President Harris. So that's the video that's out right now. But anyway, to some of the previous earlier videos that I made yesterday on Friday, the 15th, I kept talking about the initial MC. And as I was like clearing out my energy and getting ready for this reading, MC, the first thing that hit me was Michael Cohen. So for some reason, for those of you guys who are helping me trying to figure it out, I think it has to do with Michael Cohen. So if you can kind of like let me know why, or what kind of role he might play in this, because his name came through very clearly when I was recording this video, or right when I began to record. So if you let me know, just let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, the whole purpose of this video, as you can see in the title, we're going to talk about the secret plan between Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, and then we're also going to talk about the PolyMarket. For some reason, I had a very strong feeling when I was outside picking my dog potty that I needed to combine these two questions or two topics together because they're somehow related. So we are going to just do that. We're just going to move on forward. And again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only, and for educational purposes only as well. So let's head on. I kept feeling that we're going to use this tarot deck first as the clarifier of the whole entire topic of today's reading, and then we'll just move on. Alright guys, I've also been feeling lately that I need to change the title or my YouTube name. I know for a very long time it's been known as Celestial Chris Tarot, but I have been having a feeling for a very long time that I think it might be time for me to change that name. So if you guys agree with me or disagree, just let me know in the comment section below. I am thinking about something with storytelling. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned that I'm very good at it. So I was like, well, it makes more sense for me to do what I'm good at rather than have it be celestial. Yes, I am very good at, communicating with the guides and the outer galactic experience, but I'm also very good at storytelling. So if there's a way that we can combine the two together, let me know and just give me some name suggestions in the comment section below. And if you do like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and don't forget to share this video. The more that we get exposed, the more people that come on, the more that we can grow such a strong and loving community. And I'm sincerely grateful for all of you guys, I really am. And you guys have been amazing, you guys have been very supportive, very kind and loving. But I am going to move on, because I'm sure a lot of you guys just want to get to the main part of the video, so I'm not going to waste your time. So we are just going to go head on in. Alright. And yes, I am still responding to all your comments, so don't worry. I am still going to get to you. Alright, so Spirit Angels, tell me. What is the card that represents today's topic in regards to Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, and Donald Trump's secret plan, and the PolyMarket arrest, with the CEO being arrested? Thank you. Ooh. Okay. So we had Nikola Tesla. So we had Elon, of course. He's here in the reading. Let me see if I can brighten this up so I can actually see what I'm looking at. So we have the 8 of Pentacles. That 8 of Pentacles is reverse. We have, well, all these are reversals. We have the King of Pentacles. Tear down that wall, Hollywood. The King of Pentacles, that's Ronald Reagan, the Republican Party. And then we have here Ace of Cups, right? Freedom, right? We have a strong black woman, and we have the Dove, and that's reverse, that's Cage. So I think the whole story, the moral of the story is of today's topic, is that it has to involve mechanical software, so specifically like computer programming, coding, but also have to be related in some capacity to Elon and Starlink. Here it's telling me that it has to do with the Republican Party not being able to get the support that it needs to be able to go ahead. And I am getting a pull to the horse. I wondered what the horse means symbolically, because symbolically, I'm getting at, then normally when you ride a horse, you're moving forward. But in this aspect, no one's riding a horse. It's reversed, which means something has been halted for the Republican Party. Something has been halted. And the fact that it's like tear down that wall, but a wall instead is being built by the Republican Party, there's some sort of disconnect with the Republican Party and what they did here with the voting. So maybe perhaps they left something open that they kind of ignored that, oh, they're never going to find out that we did it. It could be ignorance here. We do have the Ace of Cups. That means restriction. Um, it feels like to me that the Republican Party has engaged in some sort of restriction of the voters or the people in general. They have restricted their ability to speak. Okay, that's what it is. It's the ability to speak. They restricted their own members from speaking about something that they know. Okay, so let's try and break it down in this video. Now that we have the understanding of the two topics combined, how they're related, let's see if we can get a deeper understanding. Let's see. This video will probably come out tomorrow on the 17th, on Sunday, because I'm not going to be able to post a video and make a video on Sunday directly, so I have to make one in advance. Anyway, so Spirit Angels tell me about what we need to know about Mike Johnson's secret plan with Donald Trump. Can you try to be able to give me some clarity or deeper understanding? Like this spread, is that what you want me to do? They told me break it in 3. Okay. Okay, now what you want me to do? I'm clear audience for those of you guys who are new here. You want me to take the top of each card? Okay. What do you want me to do with this? This is the plan. Okay. Alright, this is what we see out in the open. Okay, so this is telling me this is what we see behind the scenes. What that best represents what we see out in the open. What do we need to know about Mike Johnson's secret plan? What's the deck? Mike Johnson's secret plan with Donald Trump. What is it? What do we need to know that we see out in the open, but we don't see behind the scenes? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna move this far because you guys don't need to see that right now. Okay, so what do we see out in the open compared to what we see behind the scenes? So this is behind the scenes. This is the plan behind the scenes. This is what we see in the open. What is the plan between Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? Well, what we see in the open is that there's some sort of control in terms of the narrative in the news media. So to divide the nation, to spin stories, fake news. It almost feels like in some capacity when we spoke earlier about the main topic and the broader context of everything in today's video, it talks about the restriction of the ability to speak freely. And for me, it's coming very clearly in the media. There's some sort of thing that's being put out by the media that isn't really accurate or true. Now, when you look at this and it says business news, you can kind of see the variation and the popularity of certain things. Like you kind of see the blue bar is lower, the Republican is higher, right? And that's kind of like the energy that's being put out is that it's putting the Republican ahead over the Democrats when it should just be even news, it should just be straight news, not even like anything else other than straight news. Now we do have here in the center card here, what do we see out in the open? Swing state decide, the election of 2000. Right? The last time New Hampshire was competitive in 2016, 2024, 2004 and 2000. So why is this significant? It feels like to me that they have some information when it comes to information regarding swing states to make it appear as if Donald Trump is losing those states when they only knew that Donald Trump was ahead. And the whole purpose of that was to make it seem like the Democrats were going to win, but really the Republicans were going to. They just wanted to mobilize the base by using the media in an effort to try to get out and convert the vote for the Republican Party. I'm also hearing attempts. So there was a possibility that the attempt on Trump was fabricated into, and again, just for entertainment purposes only, this is just alleged, was fabricated in an effort to work the voters and to people to boost morale and enthusiasm among Republican supporters, and to also have crossover support with the independents. We also had here as well, we had the 2008 recession, housing industry, high housing prices, and 1950 suburbs. There's some sort of plan here to crash something. They plan to crash something. And it's in regard to the election. 2008 recession, high housing prices, 1950 suburbs, housing industry, and then we have a red house here. The red house is the Republican Party. There's a crash of the Republican Party. Okay. And then it says here the polls are right and the polls are wrong. Right? Because when the card is reversed for me, in the specific deck because I made it, when the card is reversed, you focus on the meaning behind it. So this is upright. The polls are wrong. Every vote counts. There's some sort of crash here they did. They did something to manipulate the votes here. So the reason why the polls are wrong. Because under here, the news media, we have judgment. People going to the ballot box, right? And voting. It's reversed. It almost feels like the media was not telling the truth, and that the secret plan was that the media was in on the story. They were in on it. So they were promised something in exchange for them to do something to alter how Americans vote in this election. We have the Four Cups. And you have building. There's some sort of narrative here that they're building. You see the guy is very frustrated. But look at the builders, they're casually talking, they're chilling and relaxing, but it's the Four Cups. They're building something. They're building a narrative. They're building an idea. I think this is what it was. Okay, so the secret plan was to be able to create a narrative where we can decrease the enthusiasm among a certain demographic, a certain group, so they don't turn out and vote, to be able to further enhance our ability to say that 2020 was fraudulent by saying that, hey, listen, well, there's no way the Democrats could have had this many votes, because if you compare to the previous election, it was slowly steady, but then somehow they get to 81, and then it goes back to 60 again. That's the idea. The idea was to make it so that it looks and appear as if the 2020 election was stolen. That's what it appears like. Again, just alleged only. Now, underneath the housing industry, we do have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords here is, you kind of see people being upset, very frustrated. You have a lot of guns here. And look at the, I can't get over the light here. The light has a very red-blue hue. And he's carrying a wine bottle. And he's obviously frustrated. He's actually, believe it or not, when you look at his neck, he's kind of frustrated. There's some sort of suicidal, mental. Something going on with the mental aspect here, mental incapabilities. And there's the orchid plant here as well. With the orchid plant, it's a very gorgeous plant, but it takes so long to bloom. So this was a plant that was in the making for years or even decades. This was how it was set up. It almost feels like 2020 was a setup rather than an actual victory. Almost feels like they set by it in that. Like they knew the economy was going to crash, so they put him in on purpose, so that the sentiment is bad, and then he goes in and he says that he's going to fix everything again. It almost feels like the tactics that he gave everybody was a setup. What's the secret plan between Mike Johnson? Well, they told me not to use this. Okay, so what's the secret plan between Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? Tate University. I keep hearing Michael Tate. I don't know if that's a guy, but or like someone with the word Tate in that, but I'm hearing Michael Tate specifically. We have the hangman reverse. This is college students making them disengage, and this person has black eyes. It almost feels like possession. They're doing something. Okay. We have here the King of Cups. This is the media again. The media. It's reverse. It has the X in here, so I think it might be Fox News. And that's reverse. And then we have here Hope, Occupy. We are the 99%. The bull. Oh, okay. The whole plan was to create a dynamic and an environment that's perfect breeding ground for the start of a civil war. That's what it says here. They're starting the civil war. That's what they want to do. They want to get rid of the educational aspects, and by doing so, the media will have the domination of the information. And by dominating information here, they could dominate who's educated and who is not by giving them information based on regional dialects. So to say you go to Texas, you will get different news information than to say somebody from New York. And the whole idea was to make you reliant on the media for information because you can't get information based on what you hear at school because the educational department is gone. And by doing so, they want to create a perfect environment, breeding ground for another civil war. And that is what they're hoping for. But we do have Anonymous here showing up in the reading again. And actually, I should do a video on Anonymous and the kind of effect that they are going to have when it comes to Donald Trump. We have the two stories here. Mental clarity is reversed. It almost feels like this was a certain idea, a certain plan to make sure that the media can indoctrinate Americans to believe in something and make them heavily reliant on the news media. There's restrictions here. We have the 10 of Wands reversed, right? Now, somebody who is in a wheelchair, they can move really fast, they can move very slow, but they are paralyzed. This is reversed. This was a plan that was now set in motion, the 10 of Wands reverse. And then it's being aided by the water card. I feel like they want a big explosion. They want to be able to dominate the next century. So they're setting the groundwork now so that the oil is spilled and all you could do is just light it up on fire and people go raging because they don't know what's the truth and what's not the truth. So the whole idea was just a long plan. It almost feels like it's a plan that was made to usher in a new era, new order, the new world order kind of thing. That's what it kind of feels like. It feels like this is a plan. The secret plan was to usher in a world order. Yeah, because we have here Justice, and that's reversed. And you have the Death card here, and she had the sword on her lap, but it's reversed. And it's telling me here that if the justices aren't looking and the justices aren't willing to do what is right for the people, there's nobody else willing to stop them. But there is a resistance that's going to pop up, and that's going to be called the Ace of Wands. I feel like they are aiding themselves toward a civil war. And we have here the 34 was 4 plus 5 plus 6, 7. I think it's a 7 if I do math correctly. And we have a solar eclipse. And you have the Taurus. We have like some sort of goat here. And you have the Aries card. And it's reversed. It almost feels like in some way this is in the air, this is in the environment. It almost feels like they're putting out information right now to start the process of a new world order. I have a feeling that this whole plan to get Donald Trump in office wasn't a plan that was indoctrinated to get Donald Trump in power, but also to speed up the process of a world order of some capacity. It almost feels like the Republicans are in on some sort of ideology to try to usher in a new age. That's what it feels like. It feels like they are trying to do something, and by doing something, they are trying to change or alter the future and past. I'm gonna act the card, the Rider-Waite Tower deck to see if that also aligns with what I'm getting. Cause I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing from the plan. It doesn't seem like it's telling me the full story. Now, I do understand that it is looking like it's going to be a plan that's set in motion to start a war. But I don't know if that's going to be 100%. I feel like there's something missing. It's not 100% telling me, and I feel like I'm lacking information. So maybe if I go and move on to the PolyMarket, it might be able to give me a better, deeper understanding of what's it called, what's at play here, and why PolyMarket was being told to me to be included in this reading. Should we use this time? Okay, they told me to use it right away. We are taking this time for the PolyMarket and the rest of the CEO. What kind of connection, or what do we need to know regarding the PolyMarket arrest of the CEO? Why was he arrested, and what do we need to know? And can you also explain to me the relationship between the PolyMarket CEO and Mike Johnson, Speaker Mike Johnson, and Donald Trump's plan? There's some sort of challenge here. Okay. You guys can actually see it. Okay. Oh, my back killing me. Anyway, beside the point. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. The first thing I got was motive. And I also got one big donor, and at least big donors specifically, but one big one in particular, betted on the election map to swing it in a specific way to make it appear as if the media or the narrative of the American people are voting and not the American people are voting, but more so the fact that Ace of Cups here is reversed, and it's telling me here that they are saying that because the big donor in PolyMarket donated the specific map, they want to ensure that they were going to win with that map. It almost feels like, in a way, they either did two things. They either knew what the map and the results was going to be way prior to the general election, which told me that there was a set map that was going to take place regardless of how people vote. Because remember in the other video, I said that they would put in like a coding, and in the coding, it kept saying like, okay, this is how many votes the Republican can receive, but these are the max votes the Democrats can receive, and then any time after that, just remove it. It almost feels like there's a coding there, removing those, so that it can't hit a certain limit, so to ensure that that map comes to fruition. I wonder if the Ace of Cups and the reason why the PolyMarket was arrested was not because of the legalization of betting, but more so the fact that they knew the results way before anybody else, and that they were in some capacity tied to the election and the result of the election to ensure that the big donors are happy and they get the money that they want. It almost feels like it's embezzlement, or even it's not tax fraud, but it has to do something with financial. There's some sort of financial agreement here. What we have here is being aided by the Knight of Wands here, which is the trump card going to victory. Right, this is the trump card. And it has to do in 3 specific states, 3 major states, specifically 3 swing states, where this person betted, they knew the outcome. And it's being challenged by the 4 of Cups. Again, the 4 of Cups shows up here. The opportunity to become writing to win the presidential election. Donald Trump ran 3 times in the past. This was his 4th time running. The 4th time was he might have not won, which is why the card is challenging the Knight of Wands here, which is the opportunity card, but refusing the opportunity because he's refusing to work for it. Instead, he wants to cheat his way into it. Because the future card here, which is the Fool card reverse, it gives a false illusion or appearance that these are how people are betting, and these are the odds, the most likely chances of winning. The Fool card is reversed, which tells me that the CEO of the PolyMarket, again, this is all alleged, the PolyMarket is literally saying here that, okay, so all this was fabricated because the results was already pre-known and pre-set in, like it was pre-coded. Then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Pentacles reversed. It doesn't matter how many people vote. Because it feels like to me there's some sort of coding here that prevents a certain limit to ensure that the map comes to fruition. That could explain how Elon Musk knew in advance. So it feels like, in a way, the ad that he made It's tied to this as well. It's tied to the PolyMarket. By tying it to the PolyMarket, it almost feels like in some capacity that the map was already preset, which means that Joe Rogan saying, "Oh, they knew 4 hours before." No, they actually knew weeks in advance. They knew the results weeks in advance, and that could explain why Trump was doing all the weird things that he was doing because he knew that he was already preset. Because it's being aided by the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Again, guys, this card shows up again in this reading. Ace of Pentacles reversed on election night. This is my election night card, the Three of Wands reversed. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles would tell me hand in victory to you. It didn't hand him victory on election night. And the Two of Wands here, which is foreign interference. Oh. Okay. So it almost feels like to me that all of us are focusing on Russia. But it's saying it's not Russia, it's saying it's domestic. Because it is saying Russia in some capacity played a role in this. But Russia didn't get its hands dirty, if you know what I mean. It was aiding and helping, but it didn't get its hands dirty. It's saying here that the CEO and possibly Starlink got his hands dirty. Again, all alleged for entertainment purposes only and for education purposes only as well. They got their hands dirty, and they did the dirty work. They got the coding. They got all the information they needed from Russia. Russia gave them, they supplied it, but they didn't get their hands dirty. And it's saying foreign interference is low. What it's telling me here that in this aspect here, in this reading, it's saying that no, there was, not saying that there wasn't foreign interference, there was high foreign interference, but the work was done domestically, not internationally. And we have here the election day, the Ten of Cups. It's telling me here that they knew the results in advance, way in advance. But this was even more advanced than four hours ago, or 4 hours before the result. And we have the Hermit card. It looks like it's going to get revealed. Because there's darkness and then there's the light. I wonder if they're, right now they're looking at the darkness, they're looking at what was done, and then it might come to light. Again, like I said, foreign interference is very heavy in this election, but it feels like Russia took a step back and let the people domestically do it because they trained them to do it. Or they were very skilled and just provided the information they needed to do it, to be able to pull it off. Spirit angels tell me about the CEO and his involvement in the election with PolyMarket. We have Sagittarius. We have a half horse, half guy. The horse came up earlier in the video. We talked about slowness, not being able to build a wall, and building a wall to connect between the Republicans and the voters. And you have him shooting at the sky, and it's a blood moon. It's a blood moon reverse, and that Sagittarius is 30. What else do we need to know about PolyMarket and the CEO being connected to the 2024 presidential election? What other information can you provide? We have the Gemini card. Again, the blood moon here. There's something going on with the blood moon. We have the woman here and the man, and it's in Gemini, and they're both kind of naked. Yeah, they're both naked. And there's lavender here, and it's all purple. A purple is merely a symbolization of the third eye chakra and the third eye all-knowing. That's what it is. So the blood moon is that they all knew. We had a blood moon recently. Let me see when the blood moon was. Because in order for us to understand who the blood moon is, we need to have a deeper understanding. When was the last blood moon? But it feels like this is when the plan started initiating. Okay. That makes sense. It says here the last blood moon, or also known as the total lunar eclipse, was on November 8th of 2022. So this was planned. This was planned a day or two after the midterms results. They planned this. This was a plan that was put in place 2 years prior. I wonder if this is the map that was set up and they were just working on the coding and how they were going to do it. There was a plan that we put in place around the midterm, which is why Trump decided to announce he's running, or right after. And then it's saying here as well as saying that the next blood moon will be on the night of March 13th to the 14th, 2025. And it says something happened in March. So let's take a look. What happened in March during the blood moon in regard to the PolyMarket CEO? What's happening in the month of March? We have here the King of Coins. Oh, Elon's here. It's Elon, the King of Coins reverse. We have the World's card upright, which is 21. Okay. And then we have here 2. Education. It almost feels like what we're going to find out around this time is related to Elon, and it ties him directly to the PolyMarket and his involvement not only domestically but also internationally, and the effect that he had on a global scale because of his ability to interject himself in the election. He was able to alter the timeline by altering the presidency who wins, and by doing so, it sends a shockwave not only to the historical perspective that he was able to pull this off at such a large scale in the United States, but also the 2 of Wands here reverse, which tells me that what we know now is what we're not. What we know now is not what we're going to know by the next blood moon. Something happens. Yeah, I guess that's going to be by that blood moon. It's going to sit in that the information already out, and we know about the information. So I feel like we're going to know before then. And we have to again a 2 card comes up again. It's the employment services is 2. He's going to get unemployed. I wonder if he's going to get fired or he's going to get arrested or something. But he's unemployed. He's pretty much broke. So at least now we have the understanding that Elon is connected to the PolyMarket. So at least we established that. And then I don't know. I'm in a state of shock. I'm not gonna lie, because I did not expect this in the reading. If you know what I mean. Like I don't know what I expected, but I guess this wasn't what I expected it to be. I kind of expected it to be a little bit more, I guess, straightforward in a way. I don't know. I don't really know what I expected. I think I kind of went in with it like with an idea, but I came out of it with more information than I thought I was gonna get. So, you know, props to that. Props to the cards. So we are going to look at how history's gonna remember the secret plan between Donald Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson. Because I feel like if I ask that specific question, it's gonna give me what the result is and how they were able to do it. It's not gonna tell me the full plan, but it's gonna tell me what happened. And by doing so, by allowing me to be able to understand by asking, okay, how would history remember the plan between Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, you might be able to kind of gauge what is to be expected, what happened, and kind of get an understanding of what the secret plan was. Doesn't mean that the whole plan was done or completed, so we might not know that part. We might not know the inner details, but we might know some of the big details, and that in itself might be the most important parts. What deck would be the most appropriate spirit? This one? No. Okay, it's this one. This is not even on my right. Okay. All right. How will history remember the plan of the secret plan between Republican Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump, saying that they have a plan and that everything's going to work out? What is that secret plan? How will history remember this plan? How will history remember this secret plan between Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? How will history remember? Thank you. Okay, so I'll be very careful with this. Okay. All right, so we have the 6 of Pentacles upright. The first thing I heard was money, but I had a specific word done. It's gonna come back to me. I guarantee it's gonna come back to me when I leave the reading. Okay, so you have the Six of Pentacles here, being challenged by the Five of Cups reverse, which is loss. And then we have here with the Future card here being it led the victory. So there's some sort of paying off here to prevent a loss so that to ensure a victory. And by doing so, this is the King of Swords, and the King of Swords means when it's upright, the incumbent wins, the incumbent party. When it's reversed, the incumbent party loses. It's a challenge to this whole idea that they knew that there was not going to be a way that they could win without paying somebody off in order to win. The Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups here, the lack of both. And then we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Seven of Pentacles reversed, a lack of plan and a lack of support. There was a lot of people that they were going to attack with prior to 2025 that that repelled a lot of demographics or groups. I'm feeling Latinos. There's a shift in Latinos going on. But obviously they voted more to Trump, at least that's what it appeared to be. But it feels like there was a whole missing group of them that their votes weren't counted. How will history remember the plan between Speaker Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? How will history remember the secret plan? How will history remember the secret plan between Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? Okay, you told me to reverse it. How will they remember the secret plan? Upright? Okay, so this way. Okay. How will history remember the secret plan between Mike Johnson and Donald Trump? Okay. We have the Earth card here, and the Earth card is all about bees. Bees love to protect the hive, to protect the oligarchy, protect the pyramid. This is the beehive. Protecting the system that they created, which is why they fall underneath the Six of Pentacles, protecting the status quo, protecting the 1%. This was an area of getting people from different backgrounds to manipulate their wealth and strength to make it appear as if the Democratic Party cannot do what they can do. Why does this feels like to me? It feels like corporation manipulation. It feels like corporate greed. It feels like greedflation, shrinkflation, stuff like that. It feels like corporations were in on this. They knew what the plan was, and they said, okay, well, in order for us to do it, know the economy is good, we are going to jack the prices up, causing fake inflation. And by doing so, we're going to make Americans feel as if the economy is not doing well, and we're going to blame it on certain demographics, certain groups, certain things, to be able to get by with it. And by making Americans think that, this is the hardship, this is because of so and so and so. And it almost felt like there was a plan that was put in place. I bet we're actually going to see real inflation. The corporations were making record profit off of all this. So they had a lot to gain by doing that. They had nothing really to lose. And we have here in the center card here, underneath the Lost card, being challenged by the King of Swords, and we have the Five of Cups. And the Five of Cups is kind of like decision, making your decision, but these people are getting drunk. And you see here, this guy has one drink full and all four empty. The idea is to confuse the American people, especially Americans are not really educated on a lot of things, but typically when it comes to financial. It feels like they're not very good in terms of their economic background, and by not knowing economics in a 100% sense, it is saying here that Americans are very easy to fool. They see Americans as fools rather than somebody who is an actual human. They see them as a fool, like something that they can manipulate. Then in the final outcome card here, we have agreement. Because of all this, everything they did to create, accumulate in a certain environment, we have the 10 of coins, which was to create an environment in which we can make it appear that the economy is doing bad. So the secret plan was to make the economy appear as if it's doing really badly by getting and making a deal with corporations and say, hey, listen, You raise your prices, in exchange, we'll give you a tax cut. And when I get elected, you help me get elected, you get a tax cut. That's what it kind of feels like to me. It feels like money is the center of all evil, and it feels like this is very strongly in the reading. What else do we need to know about the secret plan? How would Americans remember 2020? The secret plan between Donald Trump and Mike Johnson. Here's another challenge card. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. The 8 of Swords is challenging the 6 of Pentacles. The idea was to bring America back to the patriarchy and protect the patriarchy by targeting women and getting those men in a toxic state of mind, by manipulating the young mind into believing that a woman is inferior and a man is superior. And that is what the idea was, to use media influences to influence the young minds of men into believing that women are inferior and that they are the only ones that can adjust. And I can attest to this too, because my old friend, who I don't talk to anymore, who I met in Italy, he started listening to Tate Andrew, something like that. And a year later, after I hung out with him, he basically said that I don't exist and that there's no such thing as gay people and stuff like that. When I first met him, he was completely okay with that and stuff like that. Then when he started getting into this mindset, he started believing that women were inferior and that he was superior and that, all these things, he was being manipulated. And I'm sure that he's not the only one. And the thing is that they decided to manipulate the mind by getting to the root of the issue. And the root of the issue is using men as a way to marginalize women, because by decreasing turnout, you don't even need to actually have police going around. What you need to do is you need to create a dynamic where people in their own home feel restricted and unable to vote, unable to vote. You know what I mean? The thing is that a lot of women don't feel comfortable voting a specific way because their husband's going to ask them, how do they vote? The Vice President Harris campaign decided to put out an ad saying it's okay to vote the way you want, he'll never know. But the thing is, though, he does know, because he'll know by her reactions by watching election night. And a lot of women know that. A lot of women don't feel comfortable, and so they didn't come out and vote. The idea was to suppress women turnout by making men toxic to prevent women from going out and voting. But the thing is, the women need to go out and vote because you gained that right to vote. You have less than 100 years. You have a little bit more than 100 years of the ability to vote compared to men, and that you feel restricted by a man. You never let a man restrict you. You go out and vote. So if you feel that way, don't ever feel like a man has power over you. You always have power over him. And you can state, you can give the F word to him by basically voting against his wishes, of voting against him, because in the end, stand in your own power. Don't let him stand in yours. What else is the secret plan here? I feel like the secret plan was broad, and I feel like the fact of how history remembers, it feels like it's come to light, because a lot of all this information, it feels like it's telling the story, and the story is telling me that this come to light, and people start to realize this in the history book. It was telling me that there is a Department of Education after all. At least it might be reinstated. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did hear as well some information gonna get lost, like forever. But we do have the Ace of Pentacles reverse. Ace of Pentacles reversed, and that goes underneath the Earth card, protecting something or protecting something. This was a plan that was in place for a long time. The idea was to take down any woman who attempts to grab the Oval Office. This is the Empress card. The whole idea was to indoctrinate young men so that a woman never set foot in the White House. But it won't work. Because here we have a Queen of Pentacles. We have a woman. We have a woman here. And I did remember, I just got it right now. I just remembered that I stepped back in, I think, 2020, 2021. If you guys have been watching me, I know some of you guys have. Can you let me know what year I said this? I said that I don't see a Democrat woman going into office. I see a Republican woman with brunette hair. I forgot what year I said that. It was either 2020 or 21 where I said that I don't see a Democrat woman. I see a Republican woman before a Democrat woman can go in. It feels like there's a plan here. Well, there is a plan. I don't know why I'm saying I think. There is 100% plan here. But does the secret plan involve or in terms of history, did the history remember the secret plan? Did it have anything to do with interfering in the election directly, or maybe taking it away from somebody? I just feel like this would like more so an effort to misinform and to grab young voters while they still can, and to be able to indoctrinate them in a specific way to get them to think a certain way. Okay, we have the Towers card here. We have 9/11, the Tower card. I didn't even know this card was in the deck. I guess I've never seen this card before. And we have We the People on fire, the Constitution on fire. And we have Arresting a Woman. Okay. Seven of Wands. Oh, I'm feeling an overwhelming of emotions right now, so I do apologize. We have the Tower card here. The whole idea, the whole plan. What is it basically? I gotta update this in a way that like I won't get this video removed. There's some sort of attack and it involved the Constitution and your ability to have the rights, but it feels like it's a facade that you created this attack, and by doing so, they were able to manipulate Americans to give up those rights so that they could put forth a certain resolution, a certain plan in place. And here's the Seven of Wands. They're going to create an attack. And it's going to make Americans say, yeah, it's okay for the government to interfere with my rights, because as long as I'm protected, everything's going to be okay. But that's not really the truth. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is you never give up your rights regardless of the situation. What it says here, there is. But there's a plan here, and the history remembers them as Americans giving up their rights, and I almost feel like there's an end of something. They want to. It almost feels like Mike Johnson is behind the idea of ending the Constitution. Or ending really, maybe not the Constitution and the guidelines, but more so the Bill of Rights. There's some sort of change to it. We have the sticks of coins. Right? Women coming by, passing it on. But it feels like ignorant. It feels like ignorant. It feels like disgusting. It feels like they see people and belittle them and feel like as if they're little and small and insignificant. Then you have the Judgment card. Voting, making the right choice. Gotta make the right choice. And that's the Judgment card, and that falls underneath the Seven of Wands. I wonder if the whole secret plan was to find out how people vote and then punish them for voting a specific way. I wonder if there's political imprisonment, not only for politicians, but also for voters. But the whole secret plan was to put forth a resolution, a new idea, a new format, a new government institution, a new Bill of Rights, or even restrict those Bill of Rights, or to remove those Bill of Rights. And you have here Workers Unite Fair, Pile Labor Rights Now, and you have the Four of Wands. People protesting. It feels like the whole idea, the whole plan was to create a new world order is what it feels like. By removing the Constitution and making a false facade of some sort of attack to give people the ability to give up those rights. I almost feel like they're going to abuse the Patriot Act. I wonder if the Patriot Act is removed. We have the Three of Coins, the military, the service animal. There's something with the military here. And I know one of you guys said that there might be a coup, so I'm going to have to read on that independently. But I feel very strongly something's in my gut. And we have female rescue, the Ten of Cups reverse, coming to the rescue, saving people. There's the flood. Oh, this has to do with religion. This whole plan had to do with religion. So the secret plan was to be able to usher in a new world order, but usher also in a new religious order. Because we have the Taurus card spilling up the black soul. I don't know why I said it that way, but it feels like that's what it is. It's just spilling up the black soul. It almost feels like they're supposed to be spilling darkness everywhere. It almost feels like they want darkness everywhere. Because when I said the Ten of Cups reversed, I heard the flood. And the flood is a religious connotation, and Mike Johnson is a very religious nut job. We have the Knight of the Coins here. We have the Leo, and we have Eight of Cups. Oh, he's messed up. We have the Knight of the Coins here. It almost feels like they're betting on people and how they respond and how they react. Because we have the Leo card here, the Black Panther, and we have the solar eclipse again, another solar eclipse showing up in the reading. With the Leo card reversed, we have a Black Panther in an environment in which it does not belong, but it's there, and it's reversed. It feels like it's creating the perfect environment. And the final card here is the Eight of Cups. And you have these people making a plan, an idea, a new plan. And you see here in the background, you see this walls card. You see the walls in the back and the walls map. This is a plan that is worldwide. This does not only affect people in the United States, it affects worldwide. It almost feels like in some capacity they want to bring back religion, but they want to bring it back in a forceful way, not in the right way, not in the way that Jesus had anticipated that. All of you guys know that I'm atheist, but I have met God, and I'll go with that in another video. But what's it called? You're like, oh, how can you be atheist if you met God? Because I'm atheist, because I don't worship them. I don't worship him. And he knows that. He completely understands. Well, they know that, because that's what God refers to himself as, they, because he's both genders simultaneously. But he told me that he understands that I won't ever worship him because I have no intention to do so. But acknowledging that he just is the best form of worship. So now I do want to put in, because I feel like this is interesting. And I was thinking about this for a long time if I should upload this, but I think I might. I think it's time that I do. And then just listen to this. Don't make any assumptions. I want you to understand that this was me when I was channeling. I was channeling this information. This was actually on June 10th, 2022 at 2:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just for reference here. But even though it has words that have to do with religion, I want you to take it metaphorically. It doesn't mean physically, but I want you to understand that when we read it recently, probably say about like less than a week ago, I reread it and it sounds very similar to Trump. So this is metaphorically speaking, but I want you to listen to this. I think it's going to be very interesting for you to understand what the plan is. And I feel like I kept getting drawn to this thing, this challenge that I got, and it's related to the plan. The plan is almost feels like Mike Johnson does not believe in the goodness of humanity. He believes in the darkness of humanity, and he wants to bring that out. So I'm going to tell you what I said here. Now, it's a little scary, so just want to keep that in mind. Just want to say this is all alleged, it's all entertainment purposes only, for entertainment purposes only as well. I do also want to put as well, don't get offended if you are religious. I'm not attacking you. This is just what I get in the challenge. And again, this is all metaphorically speaking. It's not saying this physically. So if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God, by all means, do so. No one's saying anything otherwise. Okay, now let's listen to this. I just want you to hear the keywords here. The Vatican. Something going on in the Vatican. Almost like something similar to an attack of some sort. There you go. Could even be a massive protest and potentially swarming up the cathedral. It may even be major news that everyone knew, but never been confirmed, and the faith has been tarnished. It has something to do with Jeffrey E. and the whole pedo ring. Watch for the Vatican. News is gonna break and people are gonna go berserk. Especially when they find out that they've been worshiping a false god. Now, who's that false god? Now, think about that. Think about what I told you. This is alluring to Trump, right? Then at this moment, they will understand that the true meaning of, quote, do not use God's name in vain. What makes these people go crazy are similar to the likes of trust issues, anger, due to being lied to, and feeling scared of where to go from here. That's how a lot of Americans are feeling, especially those who are voting for Trump. Then this is why I start challenging. The biggest news of all is when they find out that their belief that they grew up with was a lie. It was all about manifesting an entity in which does not exist in our reality yet. This is when I'm in complete channeling mode. Now, when I say manifesting an entity that does not exist yet, that was the Tea Party movement. The belief in the God of our time, the God of which was promised to save us, never came. For that I said he did not exist, but it is within I that I say that he shall come at a time no one is expecting. It is I that when I come, shall the ground shall tremble, and the world as you know it shall collapse. That's when Donald Trump came down the escalator. And the false illusion that I created for you starts to fade, uncovering a reality in which you live. They called me the master of illusion and deception, and this is yet to be my greatest show yet. I shall not reveal myself until the year 3000. He won with 300 votes. 306 electoral votes in 2026. 2016, excuse me. But I may come sooner, but you will not know for that I will walk among you, hidden within the deepest shadows of the earth, doing dark stuff, right? But when my time comes, you shall hear me roar, for you called me, for when you believed in me, for that each soul has been given to me a trade, one may say, in turn for eternal salvation, for that I will use these souls, these energies, to lift me out of dormancy. I shall come, expect me. I am coming. May the portal be opened by all of you. And when you do that, I shall step into your world and wreak havoc, the likes of which you never seen. The portal is the election. And it feels like when they talked about the energies and the soul, Nikola Tesla manipulating everything, this is what I got back in 2022 in June. So again, like I said, don't take it literal, take it metaphorically, and it's alluring to something. And you start to see keywords start to make more sense and align with Donald Trump. All right, guys. I think we got a lot of information in this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you do think of today's video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, a like, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.